While riots tore parts of Minneapolis apart, this corner remained untouched. It was here George Floyd was killed, suffocated under the knee of a Minneapolis police officer.
I just kind of seen them take him out the car and how all that transpired. Kind of thought it was over after they, got him out the car and everything, and they walked him over to the car. Literally, as they walked him over to the car, that's when I kind of rode off on my bike thinking that, well, this situation's over. I didn't even have the slightest idea that once they got past, to this corner where I couldn't visually see him, that would occur.
And life here hasn't been the same since. In the days following his death, protesters gathered and the looting began. But residents like Derek Armstrong say it wasn't their community that caused the damage.
If you're in poverty and you need the goods, you're not going to burn it down. You ain't got time to do that part. You ain't got time to collect the goods and burn it down. You can even identify some of the people that are like doing that part. Kind of look at their clothes and their attire. They're like upscale. These guys got on London fog coats, and even the way they dress, it doesn't even look like they're, they're just there for chaos.
That same community is now grappling with what to do next.
We're trying to make this a permanent situation.
The mayor of Minneapolis wants the streets reopened and permanent memorials set up.
Justice looks like them actually treating this neighborhood like it matters and treating the people in this neighborhood like we matter.
Marsha Howard's led much of the community response, including presenting their list of 24 demands before they agree to reopen the intersection. This includes a list of high-profile government sackings and a promise to keep the memorial site closed off until after the trial of the 4 police officers accused of Floyd's murder. But it comes at a total cost of $156 million over the next 10 years.
Which is peanuts. There are whole generations that were swept under the rug. They owe these neighborhoods, Powderhorn, Bancroft, Bryant, and Central, so much more. If you want to know why here, why now, why is this neighborhood the epicenter of a global movement for justice? Because they've done us wrong for so long.
Government leaders argue they need to support small businesses, with many who've been impacted by the looting struggling to recover.
I don't feel safe here. 2 weeks ago, they came back and stole another car from here exactly. They broke that window, you see that?
Kumars Etiaka's business is near the looting that centred around the police precinct that was set alight. In the same location for 9 years, his business has become unmanageable.
How we can, survive here when we don't make money?
While the riots might now seem like a distant memory, the damage remains littered across Minneapolis. Over 1,500 locations received some kind of damage. Over 150 buildings were fire damaged. The question is, will these images be front of mind for voters this election, and whether they'll see this as part of necessary change or whether they'll see it as chaos the government needs to bring under control?
The unrest that happened is a direct result of injustice. When we are considering property damage in relation to summary executions, property versus people, it should be an election issue. Because anyone that feels as if property is more important than human lives should not be in office.
What's remarkable is that in the city at the epicentre of rioting and looting that spread across the US, law and order isn't the primary concern for so many voters on the other side of town.
Probably the economy, I guess, is first in my mind.
To get Trump out of office.
Probably honesty in government. He knew full well in January about the pandemic, how serious it would be, and he lied to the nation.
I guess I wish for peace in our country and the establishment of values that are American values.
Although for some the choice is very clear.
I would vote for a ham sandwich in order to get Donald Trump out of office.
More unclear is whether this community will ever open itself back up. Annalise Nielsen, Sky News in Minneapolis.